Hello, I'm Jenny Fern and welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. So let's talk about books. Today I have another list of books to explore together. This is a series of going through my commonplace book to talk through any book that I noted down. Hello. How are you? Thank you. We go through the plot summaries together. I use ChatGPT, full disclosure, to generate these summaries. I don't know, I feel like I could get myself unenthused by looking into things too much. So I just want to read a real quick idea of what the book is and just to remind myself of what it is and why I might be interested in it. So these are from quite a long time ago. My dog is eating herself out. Stop it. Hey, stop. Stop. I'm filming a video right now. No. I see it coming back up. Here, let me give you a blanket. Who says I don't care about you, Clove? Who says? Here's a pillow. Here's a pillow. Here's a blanket. You look so cozy now. Oh no! Oh my god. Did I just get dominated? Was that a domination thing? Oh my god. Clover. Stop it. Lay down. Lay down. Okay, so let's kick it off. I did not realize I was going to start this video by having an over-possessive dog, but that's how it went. The very first book that I noted for today is 2084 by Boualem Sansal. This came from a gunpowder fiction and plot video that featured 20 banned books. In the distant future, the world is ruled by Abistan, a totalitarian theocracy where surveillance, censorship, and religious dogma suppress all independent thought. Ati, a citizen recovering from illness, begins to question the truth behind the regime's absolute control and the omnipotent God it enforces. As he searches for answers, he discovers evidence of an erased past, leading him on a perilous journey that threatens both his life and his beliefs. That really does sound up my alley. I understand why I noted it at the beginning, you know, how many months ago that might have been. That sounds so cool. The next book I have is such a crazy departure. Please don't make fun of me. It's The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. I just remembered this book and the absolute stranglehold that this had on, like, my childhood. It was everywhere. I have a cat on me now. I have a little boy. Let's just get him in the cuddle zone. This collection of fractured fairy tales playfully subverts classic stories with absurd humor, self-aware narration, and exaggerated illustrations. I really thought the illustration style was so interesting for this. Featuring characters like the Stinky Cheese Man, Little Red Running Shorts, and a deconstructed version of Chicken Little, each story mocks traditional fairy tale conventions. The book's unconventional storytelling, including fourth wall breaks and unpredictable twists, makes it a humorous read for children and adults alike. I just thought of a book that I had such an absolutely fun time reading when I was a kid. I've mentioned this before, I wasn't the biggest reader as a kid, but Tingleberries, Tucker Tubs, what was it? Tingleberries, Tucker Tubs, and Telephones. Does anybody remember this? This had like a huge grip on my life as well. And this was like a chapter book. And I don't have any inspiration for the Stinky Cheese Man. I think I may have gotten a children's book written by the same author or illustrated by the same author, and I was like, oh my god, that book. The next book I have is The Fig Tree by Aubrey Menen. Set in a small Indian village, the story follows a local priest determined to defend a sacred fig tree from destruction. As a skeptical government official arrives with plans to modernize the town, the conflict between tradition and progress unfolds. Through sharp wit and satire, Menen critiques religious orthodoxy and the absurdities of bureaucratic authority. I gotta say, I feel like both The Fig Tree and 2084 have like similar themes. The Fig Tree sounds so cool. And that I saw from an August is Reading video. I mentioned before, love August is Reading's videos. The next book that I have is Herland by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. I read my first Charlotte Perkins Gilman last year with the yellow wallpaper, and the copy of the yellow wallpaper that I picked up does have other stories in it. Herland is about a group of 3 male explorers stumbling upon Herland, an isolated society composed entirely of women who reproduce asexually and have created a utopia free from war, poverty, and gender inequality. This sounds so interesting. The men struggle to reconcile their preconceived notions of women with the reality of this highly advanced and harmonious civilization. Through their interactions, Gilman critiques patriarchal assumptions while exploring themes of gender, education, and social structure. I gotta get my hands on that as soon as I can, because that sounds amazing. And that was also in one of the August is Reading videos. The next 2 books, weirdly enough, came from a like precision lathe video. I work in the field of precision manufacturing. I don't tend to read material that is directly related to my field. A lot of the times because there's not that much work directly related to my field. But these 2 books were suggested from this precision lathe video. This is The Old Way of Seeing by Jonathan Hale. This book examines the lost art of traditional design and the way early architects and builders intuitively created structures that were visually pleasing and deeply connected to human perception. Hale argues that modern architecture has become too focused on technical precision and efficiency, resulting in soulless, uninspiring buildings. By analyzing historical aesthetics, he advocates for a return to intuitive, harmonious design principles. That sounds quite interesting and almost in line with one of my favorite books, I think 2 years ago, which was The Geography of Nowhere. And the other book that was recommended from this video was The Perfectionists: How Precision Engineers Created the Modern World by Simon Winchester. Winchester explores the history of precision engineering and how it has shaped the modern world, from the development of early measuring tools to the high-tech innovations of today. He highlights the contributions of key inventors and engineers such as John Wilkinson and Henry Royce, showing how their quest for precision led to advancements in industries like manufacturing, aviation, and computing. The book offers an engaging narrative on how seemingly small improvements in accuracy have had profound consequences for civilization. That key element, just small, like continuous small improvements in our ability to be precise, and the immense impacts that has had on our ability to make things that can do things that could never be done before, is so cool. I'm a permaculturalist. I do like simple technologies for the most part, but it cannot be denied that the ability for humans to make better and better and more precise machinery has, by immense measures, made us able to do things that we were not able to do before, which is just so cool. This next book is so strange. I have no idea why I was cruising around here, but I was cruising around on like the Princeton Press website, and there's this book called The Paradox of Islamic Finance. So this book delves into the complexities and contradictions within the Islamic finance industry, which seeks to operate within religious principles while engaging with global markets. Calder examines how financial institutions navigate issues such as interest-free banking, ethical investment, and risk sharing, highlighting the tensions between religious doctrine and economic pragmatism. Through case studies and analysis, he explores the challenges of maintaining both spiritual integrity and financial competitiveness. Very weird, very interesting. Let's move on to Wild Things by Bruce Handy. Now, where did I find Wild Things? I saw this at a little free library. And why did I not pick it up? Because I felt guilty about picking a book up and not replacing it with anything, and I have so many books, and I thought a good middle ground would be to take a picture of it so that I wouldn't forget it, and I could pick it up later. Handy takes readers on a nostalgic journey through classic children's literature, exploring stories that have shaped generations. From Goodnight Moon to Where the Wild Things Are, he examines the cultural significance and lasting impact of these beloved books. Mixing literary analysis with personal reflection, Handy captures the magic of childhood reading and its influence on the imagination. This sounds like something I would love. I love still reading children's books. I love children's books. I do kind of wish that I had picked it up, if I'm being honest. The next book I saw at a local coffee shop, and it's called No Rooms of Their Own by Ida Ray Egley. This collection brings together the voices of women in the American West, offering first-hand accounts of their struggles and triumphs. Through letters, diaries, and narratives, the book sheds light on the often overlooked experience of women who shaped frontier life. It provides a nuanced look at their roles, challenges, and contributions during a transformative period in history. I don't know why, when I saw this book, I didn't get that. I didn't think it was about that. I thought it really was about, like, women writers. Perhaps I was just taking the Room of Their Own and applying it. The next series of books I saw at an antiques store, so it's very random. The first book was called Why Through the Forests North of the Amazon by Nicholas Guppy. Guppy recounts his time living among the Wai people in the remote forests of northern South America, offering a rare glimpse into their culture and way of life. As he documents their traditions, beliefs, and interactions with the modern world, he also reflects on the threats posed by deforestation and external influences. The book serves as both an anthropological study and an adventure narrative, highlighting the resilience of Indigenous communities. I wish I had picked that up. That sounds so interesting. One of the books that I have loaned to somebody, and I don't think I'm ever getting it back. It's called Don't Sleep, There Are Snakes by Daniel Everett, and it is about this, I think he is a Mormon missionary who starts working, trying to convert these Amazon people, and he fails completely because their language structure and their way of life are quite unique, and they see life very distinctly in a way that makes them incredibly hard to manipulate in that way. And he ends up, converting himself out of his former beliefs. Anyway, it sounds like I would really like this because I loved that book. I'm so interested in that type of thing. And hearing about this, the deforestation, I'm like, oh, I would really love to read that. The next book is Food of the Gods by Terence McKenna. McKenna explores the historical relationship between humans and psychoactive plants, arguing that substances like mushrooms, cannabis, and cacao played a crucial role in shaping human consciousness and culture. He presents the stoned ape theory, suggesting that early humans' consumption of psychedelic substances influenced cognitive evolution. Blending anthropology, history, and speculative science, the book challenges conventional views on drugs and society. I have actually heard of the stoned ape theory. I don't think that I believe in that. And I'm actually happy that I didn't pick this up because I didn't realize that this was that guy. I am definitely curious about our relationship with plants like this. But I think last time we talked, the botany of desire, I think would fill that role for me better. And still at this antique store, I saw a book called The Wall Creeper by Nell Zink. When Tiffany and her husband, Stephen, move to Europe, their lives take an unexpected turn after an accident involving a bird, the titular wall creeper. As Stephen becomes increasingly obsessed with environmental activism, Tiffany finds herself drifting through a series of impulsive choices and relationships. The novel is a sharp, unpredictable meditation on marriage, identity, and the pursuit of meaning. That sounds quite good. I am intrigued. I saw a children's book there and it looked so cute. It's called Little Toot by Hardy Gramatke. Little Toot is a small tugboat who struggles to live up to his family's legacy of hard work in the river. Initially more interested in play than in towing ships, he must prove his bravery when he faces a storm and rescues a stranded vessel. Through his adventures, Little Toot learns the value of responsibility and courage. I just thought it looked really cute. I also saw a collection of fairy tales called Flower Fables by Louisa May Alcott. This looked very cool. It's hard for me to get myself to buy books from antique stores, though. I feel like it's such a gamble. When you buy stuff from an antique store, you either go in there and you buy things, or you go in there and you don't buy anything. So if I'm going in, I'm not buying anything, then I usually just have a bunch of photos of books on my phone. This is a collection of fairy tales written by a young Louisa May Alcott, featuring enchanted forests, magical creatures, and moral lessons. Each story teaches virtues like kindness, generosity, and perseverance, often through whimsical encounters between fairies and humans. Though lesser known than her later works, Flower Fables reflects Alcott's early creativity and love of storytelling. I should have picked it up. From my own memory comes another children's book. I feel like I was very nostalgic in this era of my life. I don't know why. But The Cricket in Times Square by George Selden. I read this book as a kid. Chester, a cricket from Connecticut, accidentally finds himself in a New York City subway station where he befriends a mouse, a cat, and a young boy named Mario. Chester's musical talent captivates the city, bringing unexpected fortune to Mario's struggling family. I don't remember literally any of that, but I do remember cute pictures of this cricket sleeping in like a matchbox or something. The novel is a heartwarming tale about friendship, adventure, and the power of music. So this was back when I was still using Instagram. I saw a reel of this gorgeous tattoo. And if I do get my tattoos at some point, I think I would love to use this tattoo artist because beautiful work. Oh gosh, I don't know how to say this, so please don't make fun of me. It's like Sage M or Sage M tattoo. And the book that the illustration is from is The Story of the Root Children by Sybil Vaughan Olfers. This beautifully illustrated children's book follows the root children who live underground during the winter and emerge in spring to bring color and life to the world. As they help the flowers bloom and the seasons change, they experience the cyclical nature of life. The story is a gentle introduction to the wonders of nature and seasonal rhythms. That sounds so freaking cute. Sounds so cute. Some more nostalgia. One of my coworkers mentioned this, and I was like, oh my god, brain blast. That is Miss Nelson is Missing by Harry G. Allard Jr. and James Marshall. The misbehaving students of room 207 take their kind teacher, Miss Nelson, for granted until she mysteriously disappears and is replaced by the strict and terrifying Miss Viola Swamp. As the children struggle with their new disciplinarian, they begin to appreciate their missing teacher. This humorous and slightly spooky tale teaches the importance of respect and gratitude. I think I actually read this book. That just brought up some memories. I am pretty sure I read this book. And I wrote my own very short story about a woman who wears all black because it's like slimming. And for some reason she has a pet crow, and everybody thinks that she's like a mean old witch. And she's actually very nice. And it, I think, was very heavily inspired by this plot. The next book I got from a Katie Marie video. She recently talked about this again, and I'm so curious. It is called Beware of Chicken by Casual Farmer. Yeah. No. Oh, the charms. Oh, the charms that you're putting on. Sweet. Oh, sweetheart. A martial artist tired of the endless battles of cultivation and power seeking retires to cultivation. Like muscle cultivation? I'm so confused. A martial artist tired of the endless battles of cultivation and power seeking retires to a peaceful farm life, only to find that trouble follows him as he cultivates crops instead of... Is QI pronounced chi? You have to tell me. I don't know anything about martial arts. His quiet existence is unexpectedly disrupted by old enemies and new friends. Combining humor, slice of life, storytelling, and martial arts tropes, this lighthearted novel subverts traditional fantasy expectations. What I've heard from Katie Marie is that it's very much like Stardew Valley in a novel, unless I'm completely misinterpreting what she has said. I gotta say, this martial arts aspect of it, I don't feel very connected to. From that same video from Katie Marie was the recommendation Rover Random by J.R.R. Tolkien. After upsetting a wizard, a little dog named Rover is transformed into a toy and embarks on a series of magical adventures, from the depths of the sea to the surface of the moon. Along the way, he meets fantastical creatures and learns valuable lessons about courage and kindness. Originally created as a bedtime story for Tolkien's children, the book is a whimsical tale of wonder and imagination. That sounds so freaking cool. It sounds so cool. And I'm happy that something like that has been written. Now, I've got to say, this next book, the title completely puts me off, because this is a title that is so in the formula of modern fantasy that I am so disinterested in. But it is The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nigivo. A cleric named Chi and their talking companion, Almost Brilliant, uncover the hidden history of an exiled empress through a series of artifacts and stories. As they piece together the past, they learn about political intrigue, rebellion, and the power of forgotten voices. This novella is a richly woven tale of resilience and resistance. I'm not sold still. I'm curious what the talking companion is. It does also sound a little Dungeons and Dragons, which is maybe selling me a little bit more. Those are the 20 books that I had to share today. What am I most excited about? I'm like, I would love to reread some of these children's books that I've brought back to my brain. But Herland, top of the list, I think. Herland sounds so interesting. The Fig Tree also sounds very interesting, but maybe 2084 is above that. Those three, I think, are really striking a chord with me at this moment. I'm an ever-changing person, and I have moods and whims. But Herland, I think, is the one that I'm most intrigued by right now. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here with me, for exploring these books with me together, with my dog, who is being so needy. She's upset that it's raining. All of a sudden, it was a beautiful weather last weekend. Now it is slightly miserable. If you enjoyed this, please consider sharing it with a friend who you think would also enjoy it. Consider liking and subscribing. And also, please let me know, what book are you most interested of this list to check out, or what is something that you most recently jotted down as a recommendation that you're interested in looking into. I'd love to hear basically other people's lists like this, because books come from all over the place into our lives. And it is very interesting to kind of see like the different moods that we were in different times, and the themes that come about, and kind of where we're exposed to books. Oh my god, Al just stabbed me with his claws. My sign to stop talking, I suppose. I will be back again soon.